I feel like we should have like a limit of how many neutrals.
How many neutrals?
How many neutrals? Let's say 3.
Well, I've already done 2.
I know.
And so we are going to do something a little bit different today. We have me and Jillian both here today.
What's that?
We're going to see how these go. So we have over here, strongly disagree, neutral, agree, strongly agree. And just, what we feel like, we're going to put our little tokens.
Throw it in there.
In the fowl.
Popular travel hacks.
Popular travel hacks.
Okay, number 1.
I'm ready.
Booking flights on Tuesdays always gets you the best deal.
So you somewhat disagree? Kind of disagree?
I disagree. I just think that this is one of those things you hear a lot, and there's no evidence for it.
As advanced as everything has gotten now, it's not like the airlines are like, oh man, well, Tuesdays are going to be the days we're just going to
make everything cheap all the time. Yeah.
So sometimes I bet they are, but I would not say they always are.
Number 2. Flying with Budget Airlines is always worth the savings.
It is not worth the savings if you don't make the flight.
Also not worth the savings if you don't take the time to read the fine print.
For sure.
Then you don't actually end up saving anything. They have a lot of unique rules about luggage size and weight. Like Spirit Airlines,
that you pay to check a bag for.
It's 10 pounds lighter than like your average other airlines.
I always say that budget airlines are like a game, and they're trying to rip you off, and you're trying to rip them off, and it's who can save the most money or get the most money out of you. And so it's always a competition of figuring out, can I meet all of the strict rules to make this actually affordable?
Flying during the week is always cheaper than flying on the weekends. I've done a lot of looking for flights. I've really wanted to book a trip, so I've not seen a time where like a Friday or a Saturday or a Sunday, it's been like hundreds of dollars more expensive. Recently, at least.
A lot of the times it is. It is very often the case.
Yeah.
I hate always situations.
I know, but that's what makes this game so fun. Staying in hostels is the best way to travel cheap.
No. So
explain yourself.
I would say no, because there are cities where a cost for 2 people in a hostel is not more expensive than an Airbnb or a hotel. That is not always the case. We always need to check Airbnbs, hostels, and hotels, because depending on where you're going, it's completely different pricing.
House sitting is a reliable way to get free accommodation.
Well, we both agree.
Well, I fought you over that one, apparently.
Yeah. I think there are some ways it could maybe be done okay. I have not tried it. I would be nervous to try it in a lot of places.
Yeah. It seems really sketchy. It seems like there's a lot of things that could go wrong, and it just wouldn't be worth it. Like, for me personally, it would not be worth it to try it. I would rather pay for a place that's reputable. Airbnbs are always cheaper than hotels. Airbnbs can be cheaper than hotels, but there are a lot of additional taxes and fees that have popped up, at least especially in the last couple of years. Cleaning fees, taxes that cities especially are imposing on Airbnb, and those can rack up real fast. I love Airbnb. I think it's a great resource, but it depends a lot on where you're going.
It depends a lot on where you're going and how long you're going to be there, especially if you're going to stay someplace a week or more. A lot of times Airbnb will have a discount for that.
It's getting to this crazy point where hotels are actually a cheaper contender than they used to be. I mean, we never used to look into hotels even, and especially on places like Booking.com or Priceline, you can find really good deals.
Yeah.
Sleeping in airports to save a night of accommodation is worth it.
It definitely is worth it if that makes it to where you can afford the trip.
Sleeping in airports, you just don't sleep, basically. It's like you're really roughing it, and that's fine. If you're going into it expecting it, it's fine. But I would not choose to spend a night in an airport.
Well, nobody would choose to spend a night in the airport just for the fun of it.
Okay, well...
You're going to do it if that's what makes the trip possible. And that's where we agree to disagree.
It might depend a lot on the airport you're going to. There is a good resource for it if you're interested. It's called sleepinginairports.net.
There is a massive difference in airports. There are in some airports that actually have lounge chairs that you can lay in and sleep. And then there's airports that you can't.
There's airports where security will come wake you up because you're not actually supposed to be living.
So it definitely depends on the airport.
Booking an accommodation with a kitchen will save you money overall.
See, I was going to put it in here, but you said I could only put 3 in there.
That's fine.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
So it will save you money if you use that kitchen. How many of us don't cook in our own kitchens at home because it's easier normally? Now, whenever you factor in the idea that you're in a new place with new foods that you might want to try, it increases that temptation to eat out.
Accommodations that have kitchens can be more expensive. If this is a path you're going to take in order to save money, you want to make sure that you're choosing an accommodation that provides some of those basic necessities, oil or salt and pepper, and that you're going to stick to it.
There is one big caveat to this. I have seen a lot of people save a lot of money by cooking in a hostel kitchen that is shared with everybody else. Now, it's going to be very simple meals. It's going to be eating to survive, not eating to enjoy the meal. Right. But if it gets you there, for some people, it's worth it.
Street food is the cheapest and best way to experience local cuisine.
Most of the time. It
depends
a lot on where you're going. Find a spot that looks like it has a lot of local people visiting it and go there.
It is worth it to spend more money on a hotel that has breakfast included.
Unless you're in a spot where you can't get breakfast for $10, it's not worth it. There are a couple exceptions. We've done a couple times in Norway where food is more expensive, and then the breakfasts were also very good when we're able to have that be one of our big meals of the day.
Bringing your own reusable water bottle will save you money. Oh, that's your first strongly agree.
Hey. Fill it up in the airport before you get on your long flight. Once you get through security, start drinking it while you're on the plane. Just keep filling up. Take it out with you each day.
Depending on how much water you drink and where you're going. I mean,
could easily save you $100 on a trip.
Avoiding restaurants near major tourist attractions will save you a lot of money. If you walk 3 or 4 blocks outside of the area of, say, the Trevi Fountain, for example, you'll find a decent restaurant that is going to cost you less than half of what the places in the cute little squares will cost.
Look and see, are there locals eating here? They're not going to spend twice as much money on the same or worse food.
Packing cubes are the best way to pack efficiently. This is a hill you will die on.
I hate packing cubes. I have never packed a suitcase and got it full and it was not over the weight limit. If you have really low organization skills, maybe it could be useful. It takes up extra space. It takes up extra weight. Don't do the packing cubes. It looks so nice and neat and this, and this, but it is so useless. And now we don't have any more chicken.
Roller carry-ons or suitcases are the best option for packing. Really?
Yeah, I definitely went the wrong one. There we go. The reset really threw me off.
I knew what you were going for.
If it's a checked piece, a roller is definitely worth it. Carry-ons, the wheels are measured. However big your wheels are, you get that many inches less of packing space.
A lot of the times, they're not walkable. Just think about all the times you've seen people toting around their carry-on with wheels behind them. Like, it's just such an obvious, like, oh, they're such a tourist.
Once you leave the airport, the wheels are mostly useless.
Highly recommend a backpack. Traveling with just a carry-on always saves money on flights.
Saves money, saves time.
It can even save you money, like, on all the beforehand stuff. You don't need brand new stuff every time you take a trip. And it will help you save money when you're on your trip too, because, you know, you're not going to be able to buy a lot of things to take back. Travel insurance is always worth the cost.
Some places have started to require travel insurance, and so that's definitely worth keeping in mind. But even if it's not, a lot of times for a week trip, that might be, you know, another $30 to $50. Mm-hmm. And so that sounds kind of like a lot because, that might be 2 or 3 meals or 4 meals or 5 meals, depending on how thrifty you are with
Right.
food. But then, if something were to happen, there are people I know that have been on trips and had problems in the country erupt unexpectedly and have had to pay millions of dollars to get out. It does not make $30 sound so bad. Much like with Budget Airlines, read the fine print because it's a game where they want to get what they can from you.
Shoulder season is the best time to travel. What is shoulder season?
If we wouldn't have to reset this again like I did after the packing cubes, I would have put all of these in there. So shoulder season would be like maybe late spring, early fall, somewhere in there. That is the shoulder of the peak season. I do not like the heat. I don't want it to be so cold whenever I'm going somewhere that I can't do anything. So I don't want to be in the hottest part of the year or the coldest part of the year. Most of the spots that we would go, Europe, Middle East, Asia, a lot of those spots have summer as a peak travel season. And so you don't want to go so late that it's cold and nasty and you can't do anything because snow's
Sometimes
everywhere.
a lot of places close during the off season. That's why it's called the off season. So shoulder is right before or after that.
But a lot fewer people, can be quite a bit cheaper, and usually the weather is better. So I always want to travel then.
You should always grab local currency while at the airport, just in case.
Plop, plop, plop. Anything you do at the airport costs more money than it should.
Yeah.
So whether it's food, whether it's currency exchange, even if you do need currency on hand, exchanging at the airport is not going to be a better exchange rate. It's going to be a worse exchange rate. If you use an ATM in the airport, most likely it's going to charge you more than the ATMs elsewhere would. Or places where you're going now have moved to electronic. Last couple trips we've taken, we haven't actually gotten local currency because we've just been able to use electronic payments for almost everything. Some places you do have to have cash. Some places you need to bring US dollars to exchange for that cash. And it has to be certain types of bills or just bring some extra US dollars because if worse comes to worse, when you need local currency that badly, there will be someone around that you could exchange that with.
Sticking to a loyalty points hotel program results in more savings over time.
I think there's a place for it. Yeah, sign up for them. Try to use them.
Oh,
so don't stick to them.
Sign up for them. When I read this, I was thinking like sticking to it. So for example, if you're like a Marriott member or something like that, and you only stay in Marriott hotels, there's so many options for affordable lodging out there now that I just don't think it's worth it to always go to the same hotel. It's not the big money saver that I think
That's not how you're going to do budget travel.
You should always wear your bulkiest clothes on the airplane. I hate this. One of the reasons I hate this is because like you're not always going to wear your bulkiest clothes. So if you take your bulkiest clothes and you wear them on a plane and you filled your bag, your backpack, your duffel, whatever it is to the brim, guess what? You always have to wear your bulkiest clothes because there's nowhere to put it. You haven't left any room for them. So you always have to wear your hiking boots and your coat and all your other stuff that you brought. Like, it's just not practical.
I actually like to have a couple of heavier items in my backpack because then if I do find something that I just fall in love with that I want to bring back home with me, I can switch out to those. And I'm willing to wear these hiking shoes on this 12-hour plane ride back if it means I can also bring this back with me. So if you pack a little bit more stuff in your bag that you're planning on taking out, then you have more room for stuff to bring back with you.
You should travel in your pajamas.
There is no place that will show you how weirdly comfortable people get with other people they have no idea faster than an airport or an airplane. Nowhere else at 5 p.m. would it be sociably acceptable to go out with a group of people and show up in your pajama tops and bottoms and flip-flops. Airports are weird. They're a little microcosm of society.
Just thinking about like, what countries in the world is it appropriate for you to just like walk around outside in your pajamas? Like, you aren't just getting on a plane, you're also arriving somewhere. And so like,
show up to immigration for a different country and meet the immigration officer and
In your, you know,
in your onesie.
onesie. Like, I just don't. You should always roll your clothes when packing. He does all of our packing, so I don't really have anything.
It just works out well. It's easier to get them in and out of your bag. So we travel with backpacks, and I can put all my shirts in a little spot, and then I can just reach in my bag, know where they're at, and grab one, pull it out real easy. Because it's rolled up, it's easier to get it in and out.
The shortest flight itinerary is always the best flight itinerary.
Earlier in my traveling, I made a horrible mistake. I was flying for some work things, and they had put me on Emirates Airline, which is regularly in one of the higher ranked airlines. And they flew me from America West over into Africa, and I looked at the map and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. They're going the wrong way. It's farther this way. It's a longer itinerary. And I said, oh, well, we could do this other airline, and you could fly east, and you could have a layover in Washington, and you could have a hotel for the night. It's like, yeah, put me on that one. It was a horrible mistake. Well, it's just an airline that I try not to fly now on. And it's safe. The food is not as good. The seats are more cramped. The entertainment has less options. Sometimes I would rather fly a little longer on a nice airline with better seats, better entertainment.
I want to question why an itinerary is so short. Like, if you look at it and you're seeing you've got, you know, a 35-minute layover in Atlanta to make, like, you're not making that flight.
Also true.
And sure, it's the airline's responsibility to rebook you on something because they offered that ticket. But, like, do you really want to have to go through that process? Do you really want to have to wait for the next day? You know, I would just much rather take a look at, you know, you want to look at the layovers. Make sure you have enough time so you don't have to go through that process.
For sure.
And by enough time, I usually mean about 3 hours. 3 hours is a solid layover time because if you're delayed a little bit, you still got time.
Minimum of an hour if you're flying something local.
Yeah.
If you're doing the
flying
international
big, yeah.
international connection, 3 hours is nice.
You should always keep a change of clothes in your carry-on. I feel like we need another cup over here.
More than one. You'd be able to go at least 2 days on what you have with you in the aircraft cabins.
If you've checked a bag, assume it's going to be lost. And that way you're going to have clothes, your prescription medications.
Anything you need
for 2 days, have in your carry-on.
Yep.
Drinking electrolytes on a plane will help prevent jet lag. Yes. Do it. Using eSIM apps is the best way to get phone data while abroad. I've actually only used this once. Most of the time when we travel, we prefer not to have phone data because it's nice to just be disconnected for a while. It's not available everywhere. You know, check and see if it is available for the country you're going to.
I don't like having plans most of the time if we're just going on vacation. However, the last time I went there, I bought an actual SIM card in the airport, and it was like $8 for a month-long plan that had more data and everything. Yeah. So it can be worthwhile. It saves some hassle.
Overnight buses or trains are a good way to save money when lodging.
It is a good way to save money on lodging, potentially. It's not going to be the same quality of sleep.
Sometimes they're really expensive, too. So sometimes it's not really saving money.
I have had one experience on an overnight bus from London to Scotland, and that actually did save money. It was basically the same price. It was cheaper than taking the train to Scotland. And also got a little cot type of bunk bed in the bus. So it wasn't a great night's sleep, but we got us there in the morning and we were able to hit the ground running. So it did save us some money. Trains, probably not usually cheaper to do. Well,
this has been Agree Disagree on popular travel hacks. If you have any that you've heard of that you'd like to hear an opinion on, please drop it in the comments and maybe we'll do another one of these.
Yeah. Been fun.
Thanks.